Hi guys, I was in two minds whether to show this video because the Conservatives have become so irrelevant that they're competing with the monster raving loony party. But while the monster raving loony party may have some decent policies and the Conservatives not, there's a possibility that the Tories could form a coalition government with reform in the future. Now at the moment it's a remote possibility, but it's not zero. So this is why we have to listen to Kemi Badenoch. Have a listen.
We need to stop the boats. Today, after months of work and detailed planning, I'm announcing that the next Conservative government will take Britain out of the ECHR. This is not a decision I take lightly.
No, it's not. We threw stuff against the wall hoping something will stick. And the latest one was, let's leave the ECHR. You notice that the Conservatives are not for anything. It's just, we're against the stuff. So whatever Labour is doing, we're against that. Whatever Reform are doing, we're for that. They're pandering, of course, to Reform UK voters and supporters. It's not going to work. It didn't work before and it won't work again.
But our country is our home. It's not a hotel. Nothing will stop me restoring control of our borders. Yes, in government, we tried to control immigration. We passed law after law, and each time they were overturned in the courts. We have looked at every other solution. This is the only way. And I'm brave enough to do what needs to be done. I set 5 tests. Can we fix our broken asylum system so Parliament, not foreign courts, decides who comes here?
It's not a foreign court, it's an international court. Is it possible for the Conservatives to put out a video where they don't lie? A foreign court. It's not a foreign court. It's an if it was based in London, it would still be an international court. Are the Conservatives going to leave the United Nations next? Because, well, the United Nations is a foreign entity.
Can we remove illegal immigrants and foreign criminals?
Yes, you can. Okay, you've been doing it for years. So you don't need to leave the ECHR to remove foreign criminals and deport people. You've been doing it already. There are issues, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Can we put British citizens first for social housing and...
This has to be the best. So the Conservatives are saying, look, we need to leave the ECHR in order to prioritise British citizens when it comes to housing and services. Okay, housing is the responsibility of the government. The government set targets. The government can build houses if they want. It's nothing to do with the ECHR. So if the Conservatives didn't build enough houses, it's not some foreign court's fault. Apologies to lay that fact down upon you. And when it comes to public services, she really is extracting the urine. You know, the Tories running public services into the ground, not providing sufficient support. And then when it came to Brexit, of course, making it more difficult for the likes of the NHS to access the staff it needs. The care service ran into the ground. It relies on foreign workers. It's more difficult now. But no, let's blame the ECHR, that foreign court, as well.
Public services. Can we end vexatious claims against our brave veterans?
Okay, so what she's talking about here, of course, is soldiers who were operating in Northern Ireland during the Troubles, who were engaging in crimes against humanity. So she wants those claims dropped, or those cases dropped.
How can we make sure that prison sentences reflect Parliament's intent?
Okay, well, what's that got to do with the ECHR? And shouldn't it be up to judges to pass sentencing, not Parliament? Why should Parliament be able to decide how long somebody said? Like, Parliament can provide guidelines, yes, and it always does that. But it should be the judge. Does Kemi Badenoch want to decide how long people go to prison for in individual cases?
After a detailed review by the best lawyers in the country, including my Shadow Attorney General, Lord Wolfson KC.
I would love to speak to Lord Wolfson because I have a few questions I'd like to put to him, especially how the Good Friday Agreement is impacted by the ECHR exit. Because unfortunately, Kemi Badenoch didn't talk about it here.
We have concluded that the only way to deliver these simple tests is to leave the ECHR.
but it's not. I pointed it out. Okay, you don't need to leave the ECHR to build more houses, for example, or put people in prison for longer, or to properly fund public services. This party is beyond pathetic.
And that is what we will do. Calmly, responsibly, and with a plan. Only the Conservatives have that plan. The Conservative Party has changed. Never again will we spend money we cannot afford. Never.
So, 37 billion to Dido Harding. That's not going to happen again, right? Okay, Kemi? The PPE contracts that were handed out by the Conservative government to corrupt individuals, to people setting up businesses that didn't exist the day before. Well, obviously it didn't exist the day before. That were supposed to supply PPE, important PPE for the NHS, who had never been involved in that industry before. That's all going to stop. If the Conservatives get back into power, there'll be no more corruption. Okay. You know, they keep saying this, but the corruption keeps coming back for some reason. And whenever the Conservatives are in power, there's a significant number of cases of corruption. Then they're kicked out, and then they get back in again, more corruption. So Kemi Badenoch is saying, it will stop this time, believe me.
Never again will we let immigration get so high. Other parties are making...
We know why immigration is so high, because of Brexit. Has Kemi Badenoch apologised for Brexit? No. Has she admitted that Brexit was the fault of the so-called Boris wave? No. But it's under new management, so we're not going to go back to that.
Making promises without a plan to deliver them. We will not do that. We know that slogans are not...
Get Brexit done. Stop the boats. Brexit means Brexit. Okay, no more slogans.
Solutions. So I'll be announcing further steps in our plan on Sunday, 5th of October at our party conference.
I'll do my best to watch it. If you are considering watching it, make sure to have some strong coffee with you, because it's probably going to be a bit of a bore fest. Unless Boris Johnson turns up, but I don't think he's going to do that. So here we have once again the Conservatives putting forward a non-policy. You know, it's unlikely to be implemented because they're not going to be in charge. But I am concerned about them forming a coalition government with Reform UK, because then it could be implemented. But as was pointed out here and in other videos from other people as well, if you leave the European Convention on Human Rights, this is going to impact the Good Friday Agreement. What has Kemi Badenoch to say about that? Well, she doesn't even know that Northern Ireland... Well, she didn't know until recently that Northern Ireland had voted to remain in the European Union. So her knowledge of Northern Ireland and Irish politics is limited. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.